Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. It's Kemal AA and this is a tactical analysis video for the Chelsea versus Spurs game, which was yesterday evening. Chelsea secured the 3 points and we won away from home, our third clean sheet in a row with Thomas Tuchel. Some fantastic stuff, fantastic football, and I'll be delving into the tactical analysis, how Thomas Tuchel outclassed Jose Mourinho. I'll be delving into the lineups, the tactical analysis, the players' positioning, the formation, and how Thomas Tuchel completely outclassed Jose Mourinho. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. This will be a series that I'm doing, so after every match you will have your normal review, but then the day after, 12 hours or so later, you will be seeing a tactical analysis video on how Thomas Tuchel beat the opposition, or if we still lost, I will still be doing a tactical analysis video for you guys. Now, starting off initially, of course, how Chelsea lined up. We lined up in a 3-4-2-1 formation with Edouard Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta making the three at the back, Reece James, Marcos Alonso as our wing backs, Jorginho and Kovacic as our pivot, and we had Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount as the fake number 10s, with Timo Werner leading the line as the number 9. That was how we initially lined up. But as you can see, with play positioning and the movement in between lines, that shape changed in transition when we were attacking in possession and when we were out of possession. Now, in possession, we had Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount as the number 10s. Now, how were they operating so effectively? They were essentially in those half spaces in between the lines, moving the ball efficiently. Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount creating space for themselves, allowing Werner to run in behind, linking up the play with Kovacic and Jorginho. And this is the game where Jorginho and Kovacic were so crucial because, again, they dictated the tempo of the game. They controlled the midfield. However, because they were so progressive with the ball, they're moving the ball quickly. It allowed Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi, that were in those half spaces, to essentially turn over the ball, move the ball, dribble, create, be agile and dribble the ball, and essentially have opportunities on goal, or able to create opportunities for the likes of Timo Werner or for the likes of Reece James and Marcos Alonso overlapping. Now, in the game we had against Tottenham, we were attacking more in general down the right hand side. And despite Mason Mount and Hudson-Odoi playing left and right respectively in the fake number 10 positions, they interchanged quite a bit. So Hudson-Odoi was on the right hand side quite a bit, linking up the play with Reece James, and we're attacking a lot down the right hand side. Reece James creating the width, pulling and dragging Tottenham's left back Ben Davies, allowing Hudson-Odoi to run in between the lines, stretch that Tottenham defence and be explosive with his pace, and therefore essentially disrupting Tottenham's back line. These two were crucial in us for creating opportunities, creating those overloads. Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi and James were creating those 2v1 and 3v1 overloads to force Tottenham back and pin it back. And throughout that whole 45 minutes in the first half, we completely pinned Tottenham back. We didn't allow them to breathe. We didn't allow them to counter. We completely dominated the possession. Jorginho dictating the game nicely, controlling the tempo, and we should have been more than one up in the first half, but those two were crucial with the way they were operating in the half spaces. We then move on to look at Timo Werner's positioning, how he was crucial. Despite him not having the best of games, not having the most chances, his elite movement in between the lines was crucial. He was dropping deep, sometimes just behind Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount, in between the lines, in the defensive line and the midfield line, to be receiving the ball and then moving the ball quickly to make those runs in behind, utilising his pace. Unfortunately, because Tottenham were in a low block, he didn't have much space to play around with, hence why he was dropping deep in between lines to receive the ball and link up the play with the likes of your Hudson-Odoi, your Reece Jameses, etc, etc. As we move on further, this is where the wing backs were essentially crucial. Now, Thomas Tuchel, he uses a 3-back formation for a reason. Your wing backs, as they bomb up and down, they have to be doing their job. You know, whether that is going forward, dribbling, linking up the play, crossing ability. Marcos Alonso, we know his best position is a left wing back. Azpilicueta as well, he was the right centre back, but he was pushing forward to cover for the right hand side. Reece James was the attacking fullback compared to Marcos Alonso. Reece James was creating the width, being the overlapping fullback that he is. You'd have Reece James overlapping. Azpilicueta would then move out of position, a right centre back, to move into a more advanced right back position to cover the space that James left in behind, forcing Silva to move slightly more to the right hand side, forming a 2 at the back. And if necessary, if we were caught on a transitional counter, Jorginho would then be that third centre back and drop in the middle, with Kovacic slightly dropping back as well if we lost the ball in transition. Marcos Alonso, we know he's also an attacking left wing back. He was attacking alongside Hudson-Odoi, creating those 2v1 overloads, linking up the play, giving another attacking outlet for the team to essentially operate. And of course, you have to look at the midfield options of Jorginho and Kovacic, who were superb that game. By far, man of the match, controlling and dictating the tempo. They completely dominated the game, especially Kovacic. He was the one transitioning the play from the defensive phase into the offensive phase. He's dribbling, his tenacity, being so tenacious, moving the ball quickly, dribbling, fast pace, his passing range. Again, his final third decision making needs to improve, but that is not his strongest attribute. The fact that he was dribbling in the tight spaces, moving around, dribbling past likes of your Ndombele, your Højbjerg, beating that press and transitioning the play was crucial. Jorginho being that one who was sitting deep, allowing Kovacic to make those runs in behind. By making those runs, bursting into lines, essentially bursting and breaking into those lines, it allowed the likes of Timo Werner to essentially make their run in behind to give a passing option for the likes of a Kovacic. So he was crucial in the attacking phase and of course the defensive phase. Now, respectively, we also have to look at Tottenham's formation and the way they also set up under Jose Mourinho. They set up in a 4-2-2-2 formation. Hugo Lloris in goal, Ben Davies and Serge Aurier as the fullbacks, Eric Dyer and Toby Alderweireld as the two centre-backs, Højbjerg, Sissoko as the two pivot DMs, Bergwijn and Ndombele as the two attacking 10s, and you had Heung-min Son and Carlos Vinicius as the two number 9s. They had a limited amount of width, essentially because Jose Mourinho set up in a very defensive low block. He didn't really want to attack down the wide hand sides. He wanted to pack that midfield and compact. And this was my worry because we had Jorginho and Kovacic as the only two midfielders, and they had to cover for the likes of Ndombele, a Bergwijn, a Højbjerg, or Sissoko. But what Thomas Tuchel was spot on here on his tactics, hence why he dominated and completely outclassed completely outclassed Jose Mourinho, was that despite having only Jorginho and Kovacic, he had the likes of a Mason Mount because of his high energy, high intensity press, to slightly sometimes drop back deep a little bit to help out defensively because he has the energy, he has that he has the energy and the ability to run back and help out. And that's why we played the 3-back formation to offer us the width. Because we had the likes of Alonso and we had the likes of Reece James as a wing-backs, they would sometimes tuck in to essentially provide as the extra midfielder, so it'd form a bank of 4, giving more protection to your likes of a Jorginho, to the likes of a Kovacic. So they handled the situation really well. They had Ndombele, Bergwijn really quiet all game. Bergwijn, you couldn't really see him because he was in Kovacic's pocket essentially. He couldn't make those runs in the half spaces because Jorginho was sound defensively, making many interceptions. Alonso would sometimes act as an inverted left wing back to help out defensively. You could also say the same for Reece James as well. And again, Højbjerg and Sissoko didn't really attack and help out Ndombele and Bergwijn because they were too occupied with marking out Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount. So they had their own duties, they had their own roles, and therefore Thomas Tuchel was continuously the whole game pinning back Tottenham, and Højbjerg and Sissoko were pinned back near their half. Essentially, they were counting their half. We were relentless, ball after ball. The movement of the ball, the movement in between the lines, the spaces, the quick movement, the fact they were attacking relentlessly, wave and wave after attack, and we completely dominated that Jose Mourinho team. And of course, when you play a 4-2-2 formation, your fullbacks are so crucial because they are your only outlet when it comes to wide areas. Now the problem was because Jose Mourinho set in a low block, this fell into Thomas Tuchel's hands. This meant that Davies and Aurier were pinned back, but because we played the 3-back formation with the likes of your Alonso and Reece James as your wing backs, and we had Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount operating as fake 10s, we created those wide overloads on the right and left hand side, forcing Davies and Aurier to be marked out completely out the game. Hence why there were so many crosses into the box, because the 2-1 overloads was too much for Tottenham to handle, and that's why we were dominating possession, we were dominating chance, creating opportunities continuously, and we should have been more than 1 up at half time. We completely dominated that game, and Thomas Tuchel completely outclassed Jose Mourinho in that regard. We then move on to Tottenham's role with Son and Vinicius. Vinicius, he missed a sitter in the last 3 minutes of the game. Heung-min Son was really quiet. Why? Because we marked him out the game completely. Jorginho and Thiago Silva alongside Rudiger marked him out perfectly. Son was isolated up front because of that midfield. That midfield of Tottenham were too occupied and busy, man marking Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount, that when it came to attacking, they couldn't really move the ball quick enough to Son, and even when Son received the ball in between lines, we had too many men on him. We completely marked Son out of the game. He's completely isolated the whole time, and that was down to Thomas Tuchel's tactics, where he completely outclassed Jose Mourinho. And again, that is the main reason why we won the game. We should have won the game by a lot more, but Thomas Tuchel completely dominated Jose Mourinho, and it was a well-deserved victory, a well-deserved 3 points, and Chelsea won deservedly. So, I'm really happy with the performance. If you guys did enjoy this tactical and nice video, to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.